तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। वंदे गुरोर्मंडलम। शिवोहम। Welcome to the series of talks on Shiv Swaroday. Shiv Swaroday is an ancient tantric text in which Lord Shiva, the Adinath, unfolds the secrets of cosmos and cosmic rhythms within us. It is the path that takes one towards perfection. Perfection means an all-round expression of positivity, benevolence and success that is rooted in wisdom. So far we have discussed 56 verses of this text. Therefore, if you are watching this as your first video here, I request you to watch videos from the beginning for better understanding. The link to the playlist is provided in the description box for your easy access, and you may even find it above. The next verse, that is the 57th verse, states that Vame chamrit rupa sayya jagatapyayanam param dakshine charbhagena jagdutpadyet sada. This means Ida Nadi is present on the left, is like nectar, Amrit, and it supports the world. Pingala on the right creates the whole world. I will also take the next verse, that is the 58th verse. Madhyama bhavati krura dushta sarvatra karmasu sarvatra shubh karyeshu vama bhavati siddhita. It literally means the middle channel, that is Sushumna, is wicked and cruel in all activities, while the left channel, that is Ida, gives success in auspicious activities. Creation, sustenance and dissolution are the three processes through which the balance of the universe is maintained. The three processes are taking place continuously, maintaining the momentum and equilibrium of the universe. Apyayan means that which strengthens, and Utpad means one that creates. The energies of the Pingala are the ones that create, while the energies of the Ida are nourishing the creation with its Amrit or nectar-like qualities. The nature of Sushumna is said to be cruel and wicked, as it destroys the creation. We often think that the three processes of creation, sustenance and dissolution are some divine processes that are controlled by a divine being. While that is true for the ordinary man, but for a Swar Yogi, from the perspective of Swar Vignan, it is not the ultimate truth. In this verse, these three processes have been related to the three nadis which bring them under the control of an individual. Although you should know that here the reference is to the material and individual creation. In our lives, to maintain the balance and purity and stability, a continuous propagation of the three processes is always needed. In fact, these three processes are already taking place. However, there may not be a desired balance. Swar Yoga provides us the framework, techniques and practices that empower us to bring that desired balance of the three processes in our life. On an individual level, the three nadis, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna, bring all the three processes into action. In Swar Yoga, mostly this is taken as the material aspect of one's life. The material aspect or the worldly things are also created, sustained, and for sure they get destroyed when right time comes. The process of creation takes place with Prana Shakti, the one that resides in the Pingala Nadi. The sustenance means naturally intuitive and nourishing energies that represent the Chitta Shakti residing in Ida Nadi. When Sushumna is active, the spiritual energies within us start to rise. Spiritual energies are inwardly moving energies and not directed outward. Therefore, Sushumna is not considered beneficial for the material creation or worldly affairs. Svarvignan clearly states that humans have been blessed with these three powers within, in the form of Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna. With the knowledge and practices of Swarayog, one is able to manifest and sustain one's own personal world as one may desire. Svarvignan clearly states that humans have been blessed with three powers within, in the form of Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna. With the knowledge and practices of Swarayog, one is able to manifest and sustain one's own personal world as one may desire. In this verse, the word Jagat is referring to the personal world. Although it should be clear by now that the Supreme Consciousness and Mahapran are manifesting on the microscopic level in the form of Chit Shakti and Prana Shakti. On this microcosmic level, a person has the freedom of creation. Even Shiv Sutra indicate the same. 17th Shiv Sutra of Third Awakening says, Swamatra Nirmanam Apadyati. There are many other sutras such as 30th Shiv Sutra of Third Awakening, Swashakti Prachyo Asya Vishwam, the 20th Sutra of First Awakening, Bhoot Sandhan Bhoot Pritkatva Vishwa Sangatah, etc. That suggest a yogi who has perfected himself through practice of tantric processes has the power to create anything, everything that he wishes to, including another realm. But not all are able to realize this freedom. To realize that, yogi must have the ultimate freedom and need to invoke all the dormant energies within him. He should also have perfect vairagya, it is said. As we see, most of the people carry on in life with minimal energies. Energy is sufficient for sustenance on physical, that include ahar, daihik, karmas, and maithun, etc. and some mental activities. But this verse is definite indication towards the presence of greater amounts of potential that lie dormant within us. This divine potential is for us to create, sustain, and destroy our own personal universe. A Swar Yogi actualizes this potential as per one's capacity and eligibility, and thus he can easily bring this energy into action at will. When both the nadis become completely active, balanced, and synchronized with cosmic rhythms, their energies reach to the pinnacle from where they can be operated to manifest anything that one desires for. The Prana Shakti and Chit Shakti within you is a direct manifestation of Supreme Consciousness and Mahapran that flows through you. So it is possible to manifest whatever you desire once you are able to connect to the highest potential within you in a non-dual state. This non-dual state is called Nirdvanda Avastha. As I have already mentioned, that these processes will require immense dedication and discipline from your side. And not only that, from my personal experience, I can tell you that the Swar Yoga practices are itself cleansing and purifying in nature. The desire for siddhis and yearning for controlling the naturally occurring processes disappears in the sadhak as he gets free from Maya. It is only in ignorance that we want siddhis. One of the highest wisdom in tantric tradition says, Moha Varanat Siddhi. That means it is out of one's ignorance one seeks siddhis or extraordinary powers. The true goal of all spiritual practices, including Swarup, is to realize the real nature of self. That's all for today. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I bow down to the divine sitting in your hearts. Shiva.